So I want to talk about Title IX. And Title IX has been in the news a lot lately, actually, because of a lot of various things. One of them is the Me Too movement, which has become very active in the United States in the past couple of years. And frankly, it's high time that a lot of women are more comfortable being forthcoming about some of the assaults that they've had to experience, because this has been tolerated for far too long, and women should feel comfortable about coming forward. But actually, as we'll discuss, Title IX is not just to protect women, but actually is to prevent gender discrimination of all kinds. So Title IX was passed back in 1972, and it applies to all schools and colleges that receive federal funding. Some people believe mistakenly that Title IX is only designed to deal with issues involving colleges, but in point of fact, it applies to regular schools as well. We're talking about high schools, middle schools, even all the way down to kindergarten. We've had cases before, actually, where we've encountered, unfortunately, gender discrimination at ages as young as 6 and 7. Now, under Title IX, schools that receive federal funds cannot discriminate against any person on the basis of sex. And this is what I mean, by the way, that Title IX is not only meant to protect women now, but it's been extended, actually, to address any kind of gender discrimination. And it also, in addition to applying to colleges, universities, schools, vocational schools, professional schools, Title IX actually is a wide-ranging law, and it's expanding even well beyond what we've traditionally used it for. Now, what Title IX is meant to guard against is discrimination. Discrimination covers a wide range of intentional, unequal treatment, and can include employment decisions, admissions decisions, access to athletic programs. That's something that's actually quite common in terms of the use of Title IX, as well as sexual harassment, sexual misconduct, and sexual assault. So for example, if you're at a school and you are constantly being harassed by someone else and there is a gender motivation to that, that is the type of thing that would be covered under Title IX and ensure or give you access to Title IX protections. Sexual misconduct. Let's say that there's been some kind of inappropriate contact between students at a particular school, or the actions can relate back to what happened at a particular school or with certain students, then that can be a Title IX issue. And it can extend all the way to sexual assault. And you don't even have to have a set of criminal charges in order to have a Title IX case. Let's say two people go out on a date, one person behaves in a completely inappropriate way toward another person. They're both students at the school. Sometimes, for various reasons, people may not necessarily feel comfortable about working with the police, but they can still go to their Title IX enforcement officer or anyone else at a particular school and tell them about what happened. Now, also, discrimination on the basis of sex includes sexual stereotyping. So, for example, if you have a teacher or a student who is making some kind of derogatory comments about the way that a female is dressing, and is trying to imply that a female might be promiscuous because she's wearing short skirts, for example, that's a sexual stereotyping issue. That's subject to Title IX. In general, what we say is that sexual stereotyping occurs when a person assumes that another person will conform to the stereotypes typically associated with the person of their sex, and then treats them unequally when they do not. Now, an educational institution that receives federal funds may be liable not just for the actions of its employees, but also for the actions of a student towards other students. So we know that schools can be on the hook for what their professors, what their teachers do with respect to gender discrimination, but Title IX also applies to any kind of student-on-student actions. Okay. For example, if the school or university knows that a student is engaging in sexual harassment of other students and allows it to continue, the school or university may be liable under Title IX. And that's an important thing to recognize, that tolerance of any kind of gender discrimination is something that can open up a school to liability. So we'll be talking more about this in the future, but this is kind of a general introduction to the basics of Title IX.